Welcome to Stream of Conscious Rap. I'm trying to bring the conscience back. Lots of bullshit on the airwaves, and I know we're all sick of that. So here's some more on top of that. Yeah, taking it slow, waiting for the outcome so they can know. I'm coming to the screen with the naked flow, and I hope you hear what I'm doing. I get the room shaking. My shit too potent for them to even understand what I'm thinking. Shane, change the flow, get it shifting while they're blinking. They never even had a chance to understand. Might cut off their comprehension, cause I'm descending. I'm ascending, and my ascension is probably something they're gonna have a problem with, but I'm not minding. I'm trying to keep my shit solipsistic, cause I'm of the mind that my mind is on a different type of timing, and I'm inclined to be finding the top of the mountain. No matter how far I'ma have to climb up. Check the timing of that, you know that I'm too tough for them to even try to get their nails past it, and I can't, but they might just fail. But the tragic results of what they brought back in the black radius, the blast radius, it may just blast them backwards. And I'm hoping that they're feeling the rhymes I'm putting in the fastest. If you need to start fasting just so you can get your practice, that's not something I advise, but I'm sure that my advice is not something that you're gonna be too concerned with, cause you're inside the vice grip. And I'm sure that I'm the one that's gonna see the sights. It's unsightly, but I'm trying to change the timing, cause they're not sure whether or not they're gonna declare that they like me. But it's not likely, cause I see these motherfucking peaks and valleys of discourse are getting more icy, and I'm trying to find this way that I can rap that might be more enticing to me. And it might just be thousands of me, a whole army that never stops, never gon' stop with the effortless raps. And I hope it gon' get you where you at, gon' show up at the front door of your shop where you're shopping. Might just get shopping, might get robbing. What the fuck's gon' happen? I'm in the hood and I'm robbing, you know what that meant. Check the motherfucking scheme when I'm bringing it back. You gon' get laid on your back on the cement. That's a problem for ya, but it's not what I meant. I'm trying to pack them up, but they can barely comprehend. They're apprehended, yeah, like they used to be at the border. But now it don't even matter where you're at, cause you might get grabbed up and nabbed and snatched up and thrown in the back. Now that's how it happens. The hazards never stop coming, but I'm just trying to get glowing up. And now my circumference is constantly growing, and I'm sure that they're catching up potent, like it's a bubble that's blowing, but it's gonna pop. And I'm sure that I'm popping by the time they get on the wavelength, but that's how it's always been. That's just the way that this shit is properly organized. So I ain't even that amazed when they tryna step in my space. Then I keep it moving like I'm in a spaceship, and they can barely even graze him. Using tampons only to wipe up the blood from your moms that I left, cause you know my process is hands-on, and I'm just trying to take a chance on doing this damn rap thing, singing my damn song. And you know your whole fucking flow might get dampened when I'm on. My shit might turn me into an icon, but not the small kind, cause I've grown, and my shit gon' go as far as I can. And I know that my mind might be frozen in place, but I can stand on my own. And it don't matter what type of shit they wanna own. They wanna act like they're practical, but it's practically the one that's gonna get buried in the back of the boat. Like Epstein when he was floating out to sea. But I'm gonna try to avoid that topic, cause I've been talking about it constantly, especially on these rap streams. Rapping about Epstein is kind of exhausting for the conscience, and this is Stream of Conscious, so I'm trying to expand the awareness, cause everybody already knows what they think of that Epstein shit. We're probably gonna get more from the list and more files, so it's all filed. Now I'm just trying to keep it going and keep it all smiles, while all the while I'm the one who's just dropping all this shit, and they're not with me. They're not in the rank and file, but I'm sure that they can thank me. I can't take it as far as I can unless they're gonna take it out the back, and it takes a while, and I'm sure that they're gonna get it louder. Like I turned up the volume and they can't get out for just a minute, cause the outcome might just change them. As far as the rings, I'm on the outer like Saturn. How am I gonna get back from this place they wanna put me? Don't know how, but I know that if I drop one album or maybe another, doesn't matter, just keep going, keep looping until someone hears something, and keep the potent shit flowing. I mean, this shit might be making an indent, but I'm not really knowing, and I'm not really sure if they can catch, but I'm giving. It's not a given. This shit is not condescending, it's not coming from some kind of place like heaven. This is coming straight from the brain, but it might be divine intervention. Don't matter what you want to call it, as long as you're paying attention. And I might be paying the best price that they have on a shelf these days, cause I'm never gonna be shelf, cause I'm selfless. And it helps when you pay and do what you gotta do, pay it forward and pay more words. But I'm trying to move my bandwidth more so they can understand that the Morse code that I'm speaking in is something that they're gonna have to comprehend eventually. But if you get peeking in to my world, then you'll see what I'm seeking, and maybe you'll start seeking the same secret. But it's just something that's leaking, it's something they can't even get a grip on. They might need it and I'm needling, and I'm seeing that getting within the cracks and crevices of the walls where they're hiding and needling. That's the only way that I can be the man. I mean, I'm trying to see me expand, but really seeing the expansiveness and the demands that are coming with every list, I'm really sure that it's endless. So there's no reason for me to even try to waste my brain on this. And I'm trying to take the fucking new path, breaking containment, and I might just make my whole fucking brain change in an instant. I can't even wait until they catch my motherfucking inference. Coming off the top with it. See if I got some shit to offer, but they wanna be cool and wanna act jock with it, but I'm just gonna move off with it. Yeah, it might be a little awkward with the foot in like a box lefty, but I promise there's no box that you can put me in that's actually gonna contain me, and there's no way to change me. You're just gonna have to listen to the brain and the way it feels, and it may peel back and show you the layers, and it may reveal something that you never seen. But the way it spiels, the way it spells, when I'm making my spiel, it might just come out, take the reality that you saw vaguely and make it real, and make it feel. Yeah, I'm trying to make a change in a new field, and who's really with me and who can wield the tools of the wit that I'm bringing. Might be too much, but to wit, there's nobody who's gonna do what I'm doing, so I'm gonna have to bring some new shit to it. Might have to throw on that do not disturb just cause it's a distraction, even though that is absurd. And I'm just going back with the words, trying to black out so they can catch what I'm thinking, maybe catch the vibe and then observe. And now I'm living for as far as I can, but I'm seeing way too distant, my eyes glazing over, and my mind is taking over, and I'm taking more than I am owed. But that's the way that it goes, I guess. And I'm hoping that they're praying for me over the casket, but I know that there's way more that I could suggest. And I'm just trying to reach someone who might be depressed and crack that brain cage open and get them thinking something different. Inject that hopium, replace the copium, cause they're coping, not knowing, but I'm thinking something different. My brain is overflowing. So many things going on and so many ways that we're going. I'm not knowing if this is the path that I want to be on, but I guess we're gonna discover it. No need to keep it covered when it's coveted. Better just join the covenant. I mean, this is some info we're smothered in. There's too much shit to even pay attention to some of it, let alone all of it. But that's just how this goes. We all gotta get a grip. We all gotta make a promise that we're gonna stay locked in. But also stay outside, cause that's where the problems is. And I'm not gonna be problematic, I'm just gonna put all the math together and hope that it all adds up. And now I'm just trying to bring back my old collective mindset, cause I'm sure that it all stacks up in a way that they're not that tough. But I've got too many things on the brain these days. I'm trying to stay focused, I'm trying to just stay ingrained with the flow of this. But there's too many folks just yapping and not enough people actually sorting. I'm trying to open the folders and see what's in them. What are they hiding? What are they gonna find? And what are they describing in code that no one knows how to inscribe or to decipher it? But now I'm just spitting in ciphers and hoping they're feeling the excitement. And it might be something that you're laying beside with, and my wit. It might just be divided so you get twice the amount, but I'm finding it is quite enough, and I might be fighting the fucking toughs of the riffraff that's coming out trying to catch me up and trip me up, but they can't trip me cause I got the jump. Yeah. and I got the drop, and they can't make it drop. No matter how much shit they wanna drop on top of what I'm speaking, it's gonna never be enough. I might just switch this bit and beat in just a second, cause it's not really doing what I need it to do. I need some reflection, and I need to switch up the inflection and just keep it moving. This is an inflection point that we found. I hope that you're doing what you're supposed to at this moment. It's never been more important to find the place that you fit in this society and keep it moving. Alright, let's switch it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Landline mind control. My mind is controlled, and I'm not trolling. I'm finding in the folds. There's too many ways that my mind is toiling. I'm tussling, and I'm finding that the questioning they're doing is always pushing me further. But there's not nothing that they could give me that's gonna stop me pushing. Cause I'm not pushing against you, I'm pushing against people who wanna be flowing with something other than the truth. And what does it do? It's gonna come up to you. There's no point in you trying to speak the instructive truth when really it's just destructive to you. It's all destruction, there's too much happening. Spit one bar, it gets explosive. That's a new kind of combustion, and I'm just trusting that they got enough trust in me that I can keep on speaking and maybe get to the end of the discussion before it all falls apart and the wheels fall off of it. What is the offering, and what can I even bring? I mean, I'm seeing things with a clearer eye, and it's clearly devised. A plan inside of my mind is clearly a device that'll keep everybody aware and wise. And I'm trying to get them wizened, and the wise cracks that I make might just make your mind widen. So why then would you try him? I mean, I'm finding new flows every day as soon as I ride them. I mean, I'm liking, and they liken me to everybody else inside of their brain that they can think of. But really, I'm not like them, cause I'm way more enlightened, and I'm too light like featherweight when I'm just stepping on the flow. You know, you can't even get me to step straight. I'm just feeling weightless, and now my brain is kinda going crazy, cause they can't take this cantankerous. Not sure how to flip that flow into it, but I know that this shit is so anxious, and it's so crazy. They're trying to flow against this, cause they know that the propensity that I got, and they're gonna get slapped down like Trump's tariffs. That was a terrible idea from the jump, and everybody knew that. We told him, but still he wanted to be a terrorist on the global stage and use it as leverage. Now his own Supreme Court that he stacked with a bunch of conservative judges struck it down. Imagine how that goes. It was disgusting from the beginning. He never had the authority, but now that his own Supreme Court that he stacked ruled against him, he's gonna have to find a new way, less orderly, to go about the same type of policy and try to assert that he has the ability to institute these tariffs. But really, it's gonna go terribly. And as far as I'm concerned, he owes you and me a lot of money, a few billion. I think Gavin Newsom and JB Pritzker are saying it's like 1,700. I'ma need that in a minute. You can get it sent in through my direct deposit system. Raising the price of goods just to make it seem like he has leverage on the world stage, pushing farther than he should. Honestly, I'm surprised the Supreme Court ruled against him and his dumbass bullshit, but it's cause there's no justification for it. They couldn't even find it, and all he had to do was not blatantly oppose the Constitution, and they would probably ride with it. But because he wanted to assert some authority that he never had, they had to come through and strike the shit. And now the strikes is just beginning. And I'm seeing if this is just the beginning or if this is something new and we're gonna have to keep our fucking stuff in it. I mean, I'm trying to find some new substance to stuff in it. And what are they thinking? And I'm just coming to the brink of it, trying to be the strongest link in a chain that's gonna keep me linked in. But really the disgusting truth of it always sinks in. Things are going back and forth on a daily basis, and I'm not sure if it's gonna change us, and I'm not sure where we're gonna be at least 100 paces in the future. But eventually, if we just keep ourselves moving, then we'll probably get to the end of this, and things will never revert back to the basic. We need someone who can actually reverse these policies and is not gonna hide away from it and is not gonna be fearful about it. Abolish ICE, and don't say anything else about it. That's just the only way to go in this country. We have to unwind some of these programs that are hurting you and me and fold and fund the ones that are going to the people. Make sure people are getting what they need, and that's why they want to talk about fraud every day. They want to make it like all tax dollars that we pay are just going into the pockets of some thief and not actually going into the services that we need. But they know that's fake, and that's actually the way that they govern, making these tariffs as an excuse so that they can pocket hundreds of millions. That's the way the whole game goes, and that's what Republicans do. They get into power and all of a sudden they start just raiding the coffers and trying to take all the coins that they can find. And I was after running campaigns where they're making offers about how they're gonna be the ones who are taking off the burden of the average person. But all of a sudden, not only do they lift taxes on the rich, but they implement taxes with tariffs that'll go to you and your kids, because you're the ones who have no one to pass that cost on to, but the businesses are gonna pass it on to you. So you're really the one who paid for that tariff, but now the government's gonna have to pay those companies back. And that's just absolutely robbery that's being pulled out on all of us, and we should all be aware of. I'm just trying to tear up this social contract that most people walking around these days are barely aware of. And I can't even stare at, can't even keep it swirling. This shit's too thick, the plot's thickened like syrup. And I'm seeing if I can stir up some bullshit that's gonna get them bolstered in their stirrups. I mean, let's see if this is enough to make me throw up. I'm too thorough. They can't even see that I'm sure enough. The only one that's sure enough to be stirring the motherfucking pot and get it blurring like the pages. Every time I'm turning a page and seeing what's on it, I'm trying to be learning, but everything is challenging my discernment these days. Wanna drop a million files on our faces and our heads so everyone can be confused for at least a few days. Next thing you know, we're going to a war with Iran on behalf of Israel, and that was happening the whole time behind the scenes if you didn't know. But we're talking about everything else but that, talking about ICE shooting people in the face in the streets, and then all of a sudden the Epstein files dropped and everybody's sorting through them, trying to get a peek and trying to see what might be in that, but there's too much I can't even see. And it's too much to see for me. It's kind of breaking my brain, causing cracks and creases that I can't even see past. And now these cretins trying to lie to me about it, say that I don't have the discernment to actually understand what I'm seeing. And I'm a reasonable person, and I'm trying to bring that reason in front of everybody I can, so we can all just keep it moving and not have someone who needs to interpret it for us, because that's how we got in this position in the first place, when no one actually knows the truth about what elites are up to behind closed doors. But we hear the rumors, and even with the files dropping on everybody's forehead, we're still just making up rumors and running with it, even though it's all verifiable at this point. Not sure if we're gonna ever pull ourselves out of the muck in America. Seems impossible, but I'm sure that sharing it with you, the only way that I can take it on, take the territory back. Not sure if it's tearing at you the way it's tearing at me, but really I'm just gonna need a share of the pie so I can redistribute it cleanly. And now we can see the distribution of it, and I'm living through it, trying to live through this discussion, trying to contribute to it and give it something, cause there's a lack of that left-wing attitude pulling us in that direction. How did we end up in this position with these political leaders that don't listen, and they don't do shit but try to avoid accusations and accountability for the things that they did, whether it was 10 or 30 years in the past or the future? It doesn't matter, cause that's actually something that we should be going after and find a solution for. But they know that the more information we get, the more people are gonna be on it, cause now we know that if we pressure them, they can actually release the things that they don't want to. And so that's why Trump is trying to jump to releasing information about aliens, cause he said Obama forced him to. But that's some bullshit, and you wanna know the truth? I'll lay it out in just a second, but I'm trying to find a way to reckon. My mic might just get wrecked in a second, but I'm just trying to speak with this blessing. I mean, I'm seeing the impression, I'm leaving, but they're not really seeing me the way I need to be seen, and that's devastating. I'm leaving the devastation behind, and now I'm leaving my place, and they can't even pace me, can't keep pace with it. That's why I'm leaving them behind. So they want to release these alien files. Yeah, talking about a distraction, something that people been curious about for a while. But let me just break this down. So Obama tells Brian Tyler Cohen that he thinks aliens are real. In fact, he knows it. He says he hasn't seen them and is referring to the fact that probabilistically there is aliens out in the ether. But that doesn't mean there is information or any reason that he has to believe that it's true or that they're here. And that's basically what he said in the interview, and he followed it up too and said that he didn't mean that aliens have actually made contact with the earth. And if this is true, then it was stupid for Brian Tyler Cohen to not actually get a follow-up to that question. But honestly, neither of them probably thought it would go as viral as it did then. And what happened is that quote actually got passed around to Trump's base and the people that are following him, and all the things that they constantly want to know, whether it's flat earth or Epstein or Hillary Clinton or aliens too. They want to know the truth, and they want to know what the government's been hiding about the chemical trails that are in your food. So when Obama drops this little hint about aliens, all of a sudden their ears are perked up and they want to know what's in them files that might have been obscured and covered up. And now the discussion is going, but I think most rational people saw that and saw where he was going. He wasn't talking about actual alien contact, but there might be some crazy shit in those files that we need to be knowing. And that's why Trump said that he revealed some things that he shouldn't have said, and that's why he's gonna drop these files on all our heads. And what I think is going to be in them is not any actual confirmation the aliens are here, that we've seen them, but what we are going to see is confirmation that technology is flying around the earth and in America's airspace that we don't understand. And there's a gap in our reasoning between the way that things we've seen on camera are moving and how we understand propulsion to be actually moving through the universe and the world, the atmosphere that we're in. And so that's why it's causing some weird inclinations, and why probably in the government they're gonna have to put together all this information that is giving an indication that there's some kind of alien craft in our space. But that doesn't mean that it actually came from space. It just means that our government doesn't understand what it means that there's some kind of device moving with propulsion that is beyond the tools that we have. And that's enough for them to want to gather documentation and to be keeping all the possible options on the table. So what that means is that it could be aliens, and in these files, if they release them, that's probably what they're gonna say in them. They're not gonna say we have aliens in Area 51 underneath the basement that are receiving vaccines and just waiting to take over the population. And they're also not gonna say that there are alien skinwalkers amongst us that are running every government in every nation. That's not what's gonna be in the files. What's going to be in them is some kind of implication or some hints at the fact that there's something that we don't quite understand yet, but it's just as likely to be governments in some other place like China that's creating technology that we haven't caught up with yet. And if that's the case, then it's going to be a bunch of files and documentation that is all pointing in that same direction, and really the only point of releasing it is to cause some confusion, and people are going to be doing the same thing they're doing with the Epstein files and sorting through it and checking every detail, and it's going to be confirming the confirmation bias of every human who is looking at it, because that's exactly what the Epstein files are doing. See, there's enough that they've gathered in those files that whatever you believe about us and the nature of our relationship with power, it is confirmed by something you can find in the files, even if that's not related to reality. And that's how they're gonna also release these files on aliens that'll confirm the bias of the craziest people in the Trump base. And it's not actually going to have any proof or reveal anything that we didn't already know, but it's just going to be more details about things that we've all seen, like footage of aircraft and things moving too quickly. They've already declassified it, and I would be genuinely surprised if there's anything of substance other than that, but it's still going to have our attention, at least for a minute. It's just a way to cater to the conspiracy brain people in the base that Trump has built up. That's the only purpose of it. There's no way that they're going to reveal anything actually surprising about aliens, and if they do, then I'll eat my sock then. Yeah, I really wish I could sock them. I see someone named Lizard King in my chat, that's a cool name and I'm feeling it, Think of the files they managed to shred, that's what I'm thinking. That shit was long gone before we even saw them. Especially anything that names Trump in them, but we're still seeing some little hints and clues at that, and I wonder if we're gonna get to the bottom of them. But I don't want to keep talking about the Epstein files I've been talking about for the last several weeks. There's other things that are going on, like the rip-off of billions from the tariffs. And that really should be going back to you and me and our moms, people that are paying for groceries and can barely afford it and don't have enough in our pockets. And it's all going upwards, as everything always does. We pay the companies and then the government has to pay back the companies, so they just get richer and we're just stuck with shit. But then Trump says he doesn't even want to obey the Supreme Court in the first place. He's just moving on with it and he's just going on to the next. And that's really all that's gonna happen, is he's just gonna keep on moving and the Supreme Court is gonna challenge his power. But it takes so long. He's already had these tariffs on for longer than a year before the Supreme Court got at him. Think about that. That's why he was able to steal billions in the first place, and they no doubtedly misappropriated those funds and sent them every which way that they possibly could. That's why it's not an option for Trump to reverse course and pay it back to all the people, which they should. But Democrats are starting to demand that they give that back to the families that had to pay that burden on their backs, and that actually might be the best messaging we've seen from them. We'll see if they keep that up. Iran, that's where Trump wants to go, because he's hoping that these Epstein files will be all gone by the time he's done. Iran has been a problem for a long time, but in Trump's first administration, he tore up the Iran deal that said they wouldn't be doing nuclear proliferation. He said that was a terrible deal, and now he's using that as an excuse to get us into a war with them and cause all kinds of destruction and chaos. That's the type of leader that he is and always has been, trying to use the chaos to create diversions for him to make as much money as he can. Then that's just how the whole scam works, and there are people who are happy to be scammed by him, and I will never understand them. Yeah, but I know that they can demand it, and I'm just trying to be the one that stands on a mic and they can't rely on what the fuck the president is saying, so that's why they're checking in with what I'm on. Okay. Alright. Let's see. I like this beat. This one's a little slow. Yeah. Hell yeah, Lizard King, you know the things I bring. This is my motherfucking thing. I'm trying to let freedom ring and I'm trying to let it sting. Trying to be the one that represents everything that they're not saying, and they're not staying in their places, so I'm just trying to let this shit hang. Yeah, nah, it's not ceasing. I'm not the reason. Democracy, don't need a lobotomy, but I wanna see how they're gonna keep going with this technocracy, and the geometry of the whole situation is honestly bound to fail at some moment. So I'm just waiting until it all falls and making sure it's not falling on top of me, cause they're not gonna topple me no matter what happens at the top of the hierarchy of power, cause it's not overarching to me. But honestly, the arch enemy of me is people who want to proliferate these systems of power without actually apprehending the criminals who are currently running the system and have been for a while, and have been getting away with their criminality because they're all in the same club and they're all keeping a secrecy, and that's the agreement, you see. And I'm wondering if we're gonna get those testimonials from Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They're the ones who have seen everything that we're wondering about with this Epstein shit. And even if the right wing wants to say that they're lying on the stand, well then, that's perjury. So if you're gonna make that claim, then you should go after them hurriedly. So we'll see if they have anything interesting to say. It would be dope if they were to go on a stand and throw Trump under the bus this way, but then it's gonna raise the question, why the fuck you didn't do that years ago? But I guess that's just the way these creeps and these cretins are moving. And now that I think of it, releasing the alien files in conjunction with the Epstein shit is kind of a way to get people talking about the Lizard King thing, that motherfucking interdimensional aliens concept that Alex Jones has been talking about for a minute, about how there's shapeshifters that are taking over every increment of our government and staying in it and constantly causing deception and all kind of plans that are going into our heads. They would rather be talking about that and interpreting the Epstein files that way. They want people talking about all the craziest conspiracies that they have in their heads anyway, whether it's Moloch and Baal or aliens that are coming around and underneath the skin of our leaders with a smile. As long as we're talking about that and not actually getting ripped off by the economic policy that they got dropping on us now, then we won't actually be able to figure them out, and the Republicans will never be under enough pressure to get him out. But Trump is actually in a vulnerable position now, more than he's ever been, because more people in his base are feeling kind of tepid with him and feeling like they're not feeling his approach to this Epstein shit and everything. Every time he wants to go to a new war conflict and show power on the stage, on the world stage, and show that Americans are gonna come after everyone and have no bones about it and have no restraint, that just causes people in his own base to want a distance, and it causes disruptions amongst all the commentators that are constantly sucking his dick. It causes them to have to maintain their credibility with their audiences and actually say something of substance. And if Trump was actually good at governing, he wouldn't have put them in that position. He could have done all this right-wing bullshit that he wants to do without causing all this pandemonium. But that's just what you get when you vote for Trump. People seeming surprised by that is something that will never cease to amaze me. I need to wipe my eyes and see if what they describe is actually something that's gonna keep me hanging. I mean, I need to just keep it hanging loose, and now I'm staying, and now I'm waiting, and I'm seeing if they're wayward, but maybe it's just too playful for them to get what I'm saying. And now I'm trying to move it on to the next topic and get relaying, but I'm kinda going crazy when I'm staying in the pocket and they're constantly moving around and trying to delay it, and now I'm just moving my fraying my mind state on. It's constantly causing static that's getting my television in a kinda confused state, and I'm just trying to refer to the wisdom of Confucius so I can confuse this current modern day mind state they all want us to stay in. But I'm not complaining, cause I found my place in the system where I can throw some sand in and keep moving towards the stand-ins. And I know that they can't stand him, but I'm just landing the plane and hoping they're getting what I'm saying. And if there's rough edges, then I'm gonna sand them, and I'm saying what I'm saying, and they gon' have to sleep on me the way they always do. Enter the Sandman, and now I'm playing games, and they can't even hand him the mic, cause they know what I'm gonna say if they do. Yeah, and I'm not afraid of the truth the way most of these dudes seem to be, so I'm gonna see what they do. If I just keep on speaking this, and I'm leaving it bleeding the way they wanna be, leaving the scene as soon as something gets revealing. But it doesn't matter how revealing it is, cause I know that staying real is the only prerogative, and I'm constantly on this shit. I mean, I'm not going for bragging rights, but I'm bragging as long as I can, as long as I have the right, and I'm trying to just be blasting on mics, and I'm getting to the end of the night. I hope they got him right, I hope they got an appetite for the rhymes that I'm bringing. Might just have to bring it back in a minute so they can get that tight. I mean, I need some insight. I need to get inside the system and see what they're doing. I'm sure they don't got a grip tight. I'm sure it seems so much more systematic from the outside, but bureaucracy seems to be the only part of government that actually operates, and everything else is just chaotic to me. Alright, I'm switching this beat on, and I'm just trying to listen, putting distance between me and the rest of these fiends. I'm gonna try this beat. I have no idea. I've been putting off rapping on this beat on stream because I don't know how to flow to it. Yeah. I also rapped about most of my topics already. Okay, new story coming out of Georgia, and it's more important for people to pay attention, cause the emporium of government corruption is opening up for you and me, for all of us to see how it all works. Elon Musk and his pack trying to make sure that Trump wins in 2024 actually committed voter fraud in Georgia, where they're trying to prove that it was done before, done under Trump in 2020. But in order to subvert what they thought was fraud, but they knew was a lie, and they knew was empty, hollow rhetoric, he actually went and filled out a bunch of ballots and sent them to Georgia voters, which is apparently against the rules and regulations. Now, is anything actually gonna happen? No, they just sent him a letter and said that he shouldn't have done that, because that's the only authority that the body that voted on that actually has against him. So they're not gonna do anything about it. But it's still something that can be used against them to say they're constantly on the look for voter fraud. But if they caught somebody on the Democratic side doing what Elon Musk did and got caught, they would be saying that that actually is cause to throw the election results in the coffins. So what if we said that about Elon Musk being found to have filled out a bunch of ballots and then sent them out because he wanted to actually change the outcome? That would be strange. That would be wonderful. Let's see what comes out of him. He needs to be sitting on a podium. He needs to be just, what do you call it, interrogated by Congress. Why have we never seen him in the seat getting sweated? I mean, I know that he will regret it. I want to see him regretting his decision to get into politics in the first place. But the reason is because he has been absolutely indoctrinated to this white supremacy bullshit. So if there's anybody who wants less people to vote, it's someone that believes that. It's someone that believes in what he believes in. That white people, especially people with higher intelligence on the IQ scale, should be the only ones voting, and everyone else should just be doomed to a life of toiling and scrolling. That's actually what the Silicon Valley trolls are thinking, and it's these days that their mind states are getting exposed when they're constantly trying to be on the stand, not testifying. That was the word that I'm looking for, but just being defiant. And they think that they can get away with anything, but when I am trying to get away from going on trial, they're gonna try me, they're gonna find me, and they're gonna put me in jail for a while. They probably wouldn't even put me on trial, they would just put me behind bars. But that would never happen to a rich person like Epstein, who might even still be alive on his island waiting for someone to come and see. And Elon Musk might even fly to see him every week. I'm not sure why he had the confidence to say to release the files when he knows he was in that shit. He was constantly on the island chilling with Epstein and all his little pedophile friends, wanting to be a part of the partying. And this was after his original arrest, when every one of his friends knew what the kind of shit that he was doing was, when he was partying with them. See, they wanted to be partying with a creep who had endless access, and that was exactly what Epstein offered to them. And Elon Musk is not exempt from wanted to be a part of the biggest club in the world, and wanted to see the secrets and all the things they're getting up to behind the scenes when he's not invited to the island because he's not cool enough, and they don't believe him, and they don't think that he's gonna keep his mouth shut. He'll have a flag in one hand and a Bible in the other. Others said that when fascism comes to America, it'll be wrapped in an American flag, and it'll be to raucous applause from the crowd. And that is actually what we've seen, and that's what we found. And it really wasn't that hard to predict, because that's how it's gone down in every other country where fascism has come around. And now I'm trying to bring the sound, I'm trying to bring the alarm so everybody can hear the sound. But really everybody knows what this is, and it's not really that hard to put it all together. So the potency kind of gets less and it kind of gets diffused, and I'm just trying to confuse and get myself into the gears of the system so I can act like glue and stick to the walls, and see if my intuitiveness and my stick-to-itiveness is enough that I can get through and get to you. Cause I know a lot of people get confused with all the releases they do, trying to control the flow of information. But if you really sort through everything, it's only gonna be confirmation of what you've known. You gotta find the leading stream and the consistent line, the thing that threads it all between, and that is all capital that's keeping them all in power. Whether it's the Queen or Trump or Elon Musk or Epstein, all of it connects when it comes to the wealth, and them trying to protect it, and protect it from taxation that would actually take their money and make it go towards services that help all of us. Because it's not their money, because really we helped make it. In some cases we were the ones that made it while we were chilling on the floor of them factories and actually producing labor and value with it. But then they just steal it, because they have it all set up that way where legally they can do it. They own the building so they can own the profit, while you and me own nothing but our hours that we're selling to our fucking bosses. and that's not gonna work for me for much longer. You see, it seems like some kind of revolution is inevitable, even amongst the Trump people. They're sick of the way this shit is over their head, and it pulls constantly on all of us, pulling us deeper into poverty while we're watching them get richer, and they're flying it all in front of us. And even Trump people and his voters, especially the less dumb ones that just got duped this time around and aren't actually hard goers, they're gonna be not incapable of discovering what these rich fucks are doing with their money and taking it on. And that's why we have a chance to change the politics of this fucking nation again, cause Trump is losing political capital by the day, and it just depends on where things are at a year from now and how much destruction he can cause. But a lot of the worst things that he wanted to do has been nerfed by the courts, and all of the resistance that he's faced from the people of America, and that's positive, and that's the only thing that slows and stalls the slow creep of fascism upon all of us, and I'm sure that they're still gonna try to come for all of us, but they don't have a lot more they can offer us once they're done with their tough guy paper tiger routine and it collapsed in front of us. Now we can see that it was all just bullshit and they're just dumb fucks. The terrorists robbed us, we're gonna feel it for years, and that's probably such a travesty, but I'm wondering where it actually went. Probably into the Trump coin that he got that's behind the scenes and moving in crypto, so nobody can ever even track the means. That's the whole fucking topic, that was the whole scheme. And I wonder if Trump will actually face impeachment for stealing those funds in that way. I mean, he could, but probably not, because he's got Republicans cucked by the nuts, especially Lindsey Graham. Lindsey comes out every time Trump says he wants to bomb Iran and says that it's the best plan, and that really just seems like it's because Lindsey Graham loves war and he wants more, and he knows that it's disgusting, but it causes more profits to go up for his donors, and that's what for he is even in the seat that he's at in the first place. He's a stooge for the military-industrial complex, and now everyone can see that Trump is nothing less than the same thing. So I think that if we just hammer that message, people are gonna just see it. They're gonna be falling away from the Trump camp inevitably. It's only a matter of time, and yesterday was a different day, but now things are changing, and the reason Republicans have so much power is because they seized on the fact that people's views on the world are changing every day, and they were more on the pulse of what people are thinking and saying. And it wouldn't have been that difficult for Democrats to go along with it, along the way with it. They would have actually just had to listen and stop being so stubborn and stupid and connected to corporate government power that's keeping them throttled. Because even Trump is smart enough to know that he can't be going out on the stump and saying the things that billionaire donors want him to say. He was saying things that the people wanted to hear, knowing that the day he got behind the scenes, he would switch it and go the other way and just go straight to reactionary politics. Populism isn't even a part of it. You can't name one single policy of Trump's that is actual populism. He hasn't done a single thing for the average man, the average populace of this nation. We're all just put behind in it, but the popularness of Trump is only going to be bleeding. The longer this goes on, they're going to have to institute some policy that actually helps the average person. They were saying they want to legalize weed, or at least deschedule it on the fucking schedule, controlled substance schedule. That's what makes it so illegal. Biden was going to do the same thing, but then he never did. And then Trump said he was going to change it, but now we still haven't seen that news hit yet. It's like no president actually has the power to change things that'll make things better. At least they want to pretend that they don't, because things never actually change that way. What do we see? We see more wars, and we see more austerity, taking dollars that needed to go to grandmommies and grandpappies across the nation that feed kids who have nothing, who come from less than means. Those are always the funds that get cut when it comes to DOGE, or whatever you want to call the travesty cutting USAID. It all just comes from the pockets of you and me, and actually funding things that make people's lives better is seen as unacceptable from the eyes of the ruling class, and so they're doing whatever they can to go and pull that funding from anyone who might get their hands on it and actually be moving upward. Because having some upward mobility in America is the last thing that they want from the impoverished population. They just want us to be docile and do what we gotta do and be laboring. And that's why having an actual labor movement that is constantly riling the public and getting them wily and moving, and that's just the only way to keep American democracy vibrant, because otherwise we are constantly captured by these technologies that they get a grip on our minds with. And the only way that we can shift our bandwidth is to make sure that we're spending more time thinking about it and actually holding hand to it. The reality that we're given, it's not all technology, it's not all streaming. There's a real life to be living, there's real resources in your community, and there's real labor that you're doing that is actually producing value that could be going to the people around you. And even the money that you have in your pocket that you use to keep yourself safe and sound could be actually more sequestered away from the corporate powers that want to take it away from you, cause money that's in your community might find its way back to you if you also find a way to contribute to your community and things to do that will institute changes and ways for other people to be living their life safely around you. That's how you make yourself essential to the people who need you around you, and they see you, and mutual aid is the only way that we are gonna be eking through this fucking nation, because they want to take everything that they can from you, but they can only do it if you keep sending your money up through the channels where they're getting it, and it's going to their profit margins. But we don't have to be doing it. We don't have to work for Amazon or be charging every fucking week something new that's gonna show up on our doorstep, and all of us are guilty of it. All of us have ways that we can peel back from the system and be using our funding more responsibly, and not just sending it upward to where people who are already rich are gonna be stacking it and never paying taxes, and even if they do, they try to get it back from the government. Alright, I'm switching this beat. That beat worked better than I thought it would though. Yeah. Maybe this will be my last one, I don't know. Only 15 minutes left. Okay. It's like psyop after psyop. I'm trying to get my mind to stop. I'm trying to find a place where I can rep myself, but it's like this shit never stops. It never lets up. It's always gonna keep your brain split and split off into many different sections and sectors. And nobody actually communicates with anybody else. We're all sequestered, and there's no questions you even get the chance to ask, cause everybody already knows what they're thinking, and everybody's so locked into their opinion they don't want to hear anything that goes outside of that, cause politicization has made everyone feel constantly like every idea they hear is dangerous to them, and it's not something you can actually casually have a conversation with your fellow man. So everybody's constantly inundated with all this interesting information and stimulation, and you can barely even communicate it to the person next to you, because they don't know, you don't know if they're gonna judge you for the things that you're consuming, and they probably will. And if it's right-wing red pill content, then they should be assuming that you're a strange weirdo. But the reality is there's more people on that these days than we were ever thinking. People are constantly consuming reactionary propaganda from people who are telling them that they have the real way forward, and if you just listen to them, you will actually face improvement in your life. And there's never any collective angle to them, because individualism is the only solution that they have. You can say fuck everybody else and get yours, and just keep it moving, and that's the only way to survive in this capitalist system. There's never any actual reckoning with the fact that we're all split from our actual purpose as humans, which is to lift each other up. What really caused human evolution is helping those that were sick and facing illness by keeping them as a part of the pride, a part of the pack and a tribe. You can actually gain from the things and their willingness to use their skills, even if they're not capable in a way that other is. And so that's why humans taking care of each other and giving cover to them is the only thing that allowed us to advance past other species, is using our intelligence to look out for our fellow man. That's the only way to do it, but billionaires have no sense of that, cause really they just know how to use humans and use our labor and put us all in a building and have different ways of making sure that we're staying on the line, the factory line. And the conveyor belt keeps moving and it never stops, and you keep showing up for work because you need that little bit of scraps that you get from your money. You don't have no motivation, but you don't need it. As long as you hit your marks and hit the metrics, then no one cares if you actually have any passion behind your eyes. No one cares if you're sick or if you get sick, or if the bones in your body are weakened and you might collapse at any second. It never fucking matters. All that matters is that you show up the next day and keep on working, keep putting the motherfucking lotion in a box and then pack it up and send it to wherever the fuck it's gonna go. And as long as there's humans that they can throw on the conveyor belt and make sure they go, then they're gonna keep greasing the wheels of the system with our blood as it flows. They wanna replace us with robots, but I'm thinking that's not gonna happen for a long time, cause humans do things that robots would actually never be able to be programmed to do, at least not with our kind of technology that we've discovered. The amount of archives of muscle memory and neurons firing that you have inside your brain is not something that could be ever replicated, but they want us to think that it can. They want us to think that they can replace us with robots at any second, so that we'll be more obedient and never even be thinking that we have a right to decide for ourselves what kind of labor we want to be doing and what restrictions that they can have on how they want to be making their rule books. You see, it used to be that there was a labor movement that actually put pressure on the capitalists and the bosses and made it so that they couldn't abuse their workers, but that's been gone long since. For like 30 years, the labor movement in this country's been destroyed, and that's to the extent that it wasn't already co-opted by the boys, and they're just trying to cause noise and make sure that you feel the pressure. No matter what happens in society, you're always toiling, and all the pressure, whether it's war or something else, it's always gonna be falling directly on your shoulders, while the rich just keep partying. They don't even have to think about it for more than as long as it takes for them to invest in whatever person is gonna protect their personal assets. All they gotta do is just keep their attention there, and it doesn't matter what the average person thinks, cause they'll be square and they'll get their shit across, and they'll never be ensnared by the government, no matter who the fuck gets actually elected into a position where they can do something, where they care. And I'm not sure if we'll ever see a more fair system. We've seen it before in America, where they've changed the rules and regulations to make sure that revolution wasn't inevitable on the table. You see, in the 1900s, there was a lot of talk about how there needs to be revolution to make sure that black people and other minorities are properly represented, and a lot of the innovations in law that we saw at that time was just to prevent it. They wanted to make sure that no revolutionary groups had no power and no purchase, and so they instituted certain changes like Social Security or incorporating unions into the government to make sure that they could help with bolstering wages and bolstering membership. But that dependence that the unions have on the government actually makes them weakened, and that started the process that we're seeing of unions going from being a movement of essentially gangsters that were willing to burn down the factories of the bosses that were taking their labor, to now essentially you got motherfucking union leaders that are stumping for Trump and thinking that he's gonna get them their actual wages and he's gonna keep it fair. And even the fact that unions support Trump in some instances isn't enough for Trump to support unions. And what the fuck is this? Just it's something they fall for it every time, and they're never gonna not. It's like it's all religious, and all you need is to throw a couple symbols at them and they'll get the message and they'll get the picture. So that's the question. People are starting to question the administration and their tactics and the things that they're going about with it. But the only thing that I'm wondering is, how is the conversation gonna shift before there's any room to do anything about it? You see, if there's some real protest movement before the midterms or before the next election, then Trump could actually be forced out. But it doesn't seem like they want to keep adding to the pressure the way Stephen Miller was acting like he wanted. It seems like he's been pushed back to the back, at least for now, but he wasn't fired. So we can guarantee that his policy is going to keep rearing its ugly bald head. And so the question is, how are they going to distract the people in their own base from questioning? Because the only moment where there's an opening to actually challenge Trump's power while he still is in office is if they're mad at him. But if they're not, and if they're going along with the situation and think that the strength that he's bringing to the table is actually legitimate, then there's no way that we can actually be taking it in a different way, because they're just going to constantly make the argument, no matter how stupid they sound, because there's an endless bulwark behind them that rounds them up and buffets them and makes sure they feel supported and making their arguments, so that even if it splits them apart from their family and people can barely stand to look at them, they'll keep saying the same things and pretending they believe it and pretending that it has any legitimacy, because that's the only way that they can keep their people moving on the same message, keeping on message, and people are never gonna stop, never correcting. And the devastation is never gonna be stopping. People will actually lose money out of their pockets and still argue for the person that robbed them, as long as you give them reason to think that it's racial and that there are arguments that separate them from their neighbors and make them better. People set up ICE tip lines that are fake just to see what happens, and what they get are people that are jealous in the community, snitching on their neighbors and children, kindergartners that they're teachers of. Just sickness, sick and evil, twisted people in this nation. Something's gonna have to be done about this. I'm not one to argue for re-education camps, but if we actually get a grip on power again, I'm not sure how else we can be taking this. Yeah, and just know this isn't political messaging. I don't give a fuck what you think of this. I'm just speaking the truth, and this is the reality that you have created for us. So don't come to me talking about how the left is so authoritarian, cause you're creating a justification for someone to actually take power and do something with it that will never be undone again. Because if Republicans want to come in and undo the enfranchise of millions of Americans, whether it's black people or immigrants or women, then just know that the wave that's coming is gonna completely wash you out and buffet you, and you'll never be rebuffed. And matter of fact, you might never be given another chance to be part of the discussion. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to keep whining on bullshit, and they want to just keep whining, but I'm not sure if they're keeping me in mind. Yeah, and I'm lining them up, and I know that the inner lining of my mind has been corrupted like the rest of us, but I guess I'm just doing my thing and hoping somebody goes along with it. And I'm going on too long, but I'm sure that they're on the front of it, and who's gonna catch the brunt of it but the ones that deserve it. And I'm just trying to keep the flow so perfect, and I'm not deserving the life that I was given. There's privilege to it, but it's also so much pressure, and it's constantly pulling on me, and it's so unnerving. But I know that there's only one way that I can be serving. My purpose is to be speaking to the only things that are true, and people are constantly lying to the population. MJQE, and you know that I'm seeing what they do to me, and usually they're gonna lose me as soon as they wanna speak and pretend that it's lucid, but they know that they're losing the usury, and trying to make use of it. Yeah, favorite pedo defenders, yeah, and that's the truth. Everyone in government's defending those pedos, whether it's Biden or Trump or whoever else you want to think of. We need a new generation of leaders that are not associated with any of this weird bullshit. Getting money out of politics is the only answer, the first answer and the last one, the start of this. And we've been fucked since the start of this, but I'm hoping that a couple more people can see the art of this. Yeah, and I know it's feeling kind of foul like Artemis, but I know that the way that they're on the prowl trying to get parts of this, they're gonna really just be parsing forever, cause they have no bolstering, they have no way to actually think about it. Yeah, if you thinking that I'm defending bootlickers and pedos, then you've got the wrong stream. You might want to get an inkling of the real truth. Then I live in America, and I am American, but I don't fuck with what this government's doing, and that's why I'm tearing at the seams of all of this motherfucking government corruption and discussion of it to get people on the right wavelength. And I ain't defending no motherfucking person that was in those Epstein files. They can all suck my dick. A bunch of depraved men who are just looking for something to do. All the resources in the world, and they can't fucking get up to something that is actually gonna give life and give people truth. Instead, they wanna be behind closed doors getting sick. They're not seeking, actually making themselves better, knowing that they're sick, and it's sickening, and now they're inflicting that sickness on all of the rest of us. We gotta read about it in these files. All by not doing anything. It's easy to say from outside of the United States, but I wonder, what exactly are you up to? contradict the corruption of your government. Americans resist more than most people I've ever seen in my life, but there's no doubt that there's not enough going on and not enough interrupting of the system. But people always want to make it about jingoism and how this population of people is so weak and lacks wisdom. But it's always bullshit, and it's anti-proletarian. The working people of America are constantly tearing at anything that they can to be getting to the truth, and they're constantly pursuing a way to be enlightening themselves. But they get captured by bullshit and by fucking propagandists that are pushing messages in their head, and they stand with it. And it's a problem of education that is not unique to America. In fact, it's spreading through the rest of the world and the rest of the vocations. Yeah, riots in Chile, much respect to y'all. And I can feel it, and I'm trying to feel the system, and really the rage that it fills me with is gonna eventually kill me. I got shot in my arm in 2020 by the police. So you can back off of that, talking about that to me. Although I understand where you're coming from, I think it's way too easy to say that Americans just need to do something about this. But to be fair, I don't know who else is gonna do it either. And that's just the situation we found ourselves in. But I think that the global proletarians, including you in Chile rioting, are gonna have to get on the same wavelength, that all of us are stuck under this system of power, and we all have the power to resist it. And the same government that is keeping us under the thumb in America is the same one that's keeping you under theirs. Yeah, much luck, hell yeah. Part of the movement, and now I'm part of the enthusement, and now I'm just walking through it. I'm confused when people want to be talking to me about how we're gonna do it. All you gotta do is get out in the street and cause some destruction. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm wrapping it up. I just got resistance mogged in the chat. Am I trans? Yes, I'm trans. I'm double trans. I transitioned to being a woman, and then I transitioned to being a man again. But I didn't detransition, I just transitioned again. So I'm double trans. I assume you're asking that because you love trans people. Alright, y'all. I think I'm gonna wrap this stream up. This one was alright. Give me some feedback in the comments. Tell me what you thought of this one. I'll either be back on next Friday or next Monday. Maybe. We'll see. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do these 2 days a week or 1 day a week. I like doing them enough to do them 1 day a week, or to do them 2 days a week. But I don't know. The audience demand, I don't know if there's enough for me to justify doing it twice a week. So let me know in the actual comments of the video what you would prefer. Do you think it's a once a week thing? Do you think it's a twice a week thing? Do you think it's a never a week thing? If that's what you think, you can tell me. I'm still going to keep doing it, but you can tell me that if you want. All feedback welcome. Alright, much love to everyone. I'm out. Everybody have a good day. I'll be back on next week. Be safe.